President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with Nigerians, particularly Christians, as they celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Inspector General of Police directs implementation of elaborate security throughout the country. Plus, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo urges Nigerians to keep faith with the present administration. These and more on Panorama today with me, Ogwa Vivian Onyedibia. Compliments of the season. Stay tuned. We begin with the Yuletide, as President Muhammadu Buhari has felicitated with Nigerians, particularly Christians, on the joyous occasion of this year's Christmas, which commemorates the birth of Jesus Christ. In a statement released this Monday, the president said this season is another opportunity for Nigerians to reflect on the message of hope, compassion, salvation, reconciliation, forgiveness, and peace that Jesus Christ embodies and conveys. The message contains what the president calls mixed blessings for Nigerians, including the implementation of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which has been yielding positive results since coming out of recession, and the agricultural revolution, which has led to improved local production to the detriment of importation, as well as a surplus in Nigeria's trade balance. The statement laments over the loss of lives caused by clashes and natural disasters and honors our armed forces and security men and women who have made sacrifices every day to ensure our safety. While wishing all Nigerians a Merry Christmas, the statement concludes with the president reaffirming his commitment to free, fair, and violence-free polls, which will reflect the will of the people. And the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, felicitates and rejoices with Christians across the country on the occasion of this year's Christmas celebration. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police, Jimoh Moshood, indicates that to ensure a hitch-free celebration, the Nigerian Police Force has directed the implementation of comprehensive operational strategies, a robust and elaborate security arrangement throughout the country. The Assistant Inspectors General of Police and Commissioners of Police in zonal and state commands nationwide are to be on ground to ensure massive deployment of police personnel on crime prevention, visibility patrols, crowd control to ensure safety at all places of worship and other venues of celebration. The deployment of additional personnel, crime prevention and detection equipment will be carried out to cover identified and perceived criminal black spots, flashpoints, abandoned and uncompleted project sites being used as hideouts by criminal elements to commit crime. The Nigerian Police Force is hereby employing members of the public, most especially travelers and other road users, to cooperate with police personnel deployed on visibility policing and crime prevention patrols. And for a hitch-free Yuletide, Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Abdullahi Gana Muhammadu, has deployed 50,000 personnel to intensify security and surveillance in the country. The Commandant General warned criminals who take advantage of festive periods to perpetrate evil to beware, stressing that with the renewed collaboration by security agencies, there is no hiding place. Lydia Sampson has the report.
To ensure all hands are on deck, the Commandant General Abdullahi Gana Muhammadu announced that the Corps cancelled leave applications this season as part of massive deployment efforts to cover all the nooks and crannies of the country, while assuring Nigerians that any form of misconduct or compromise will be dealt with. Gana also said Nigerians who go about their celebration in a peaceful manner will be protected.
We've deployed over 50,000 of our staff to make sure that all the installations, oil pipelines, power lines, communication masts are well protected during this period. And I want to seize this opportunity to advise the vendors to please keep off.
The CG warned against holding, diversion and black marketing of petroleum products, saying any attempt to sabotage government efforts in keeping the nation wet with petroleum products will not be tolerated. Similarly, FCT Commissioner of Police, Balachuruma, has assured residents of the FCT and environs of adequate security during the Yuletide. The Commissioner said in addition to proactive measures taken by the command, visibility will be heightened.
The task force, as far as I'm concerned, we've all taken care of them. Amount of my personnel being deployed for operations in this December, I'm telling you, the entire command is geared towards ensuring that peace reigns in Abuja. People go about celebrating the festive period peacefully without any threat.
He then urged members of the public to also play their part by reporting suspicious movements or characters to security agencies. He reiterated that the ban on the use of knockout is still on and called on parents to prohibit their wards from engaging in the art. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
And away from that, the Kaduna-Tafa-Abuja Expressway being reconstructed is expected to boost socio-economic activities once completed. Ibrahim Bello Gunda reports that motorists are already looking forward to the prospect.
The 73.4-kilometer Kaduna-Zaria Highway is one of Nigeria's busiest roads. The Buhari administration awarded the contract for its rehabilitation with a completion period of 3 years. Already, contractors have mobilized to site and work has commenced on the project.
Quality control is not compromised. During construction or during execution of the project, we carry in situ, that's on-site inspection too. So it's not a one-stage thing, it's a continuous thing, before, during and after. So it's very, very key to this project.
The rehabilitation project is fully funded and travelers are already in high spirit as they expect smooth motoring, in addition to boosting the socio-economic activities of communities along the highway upon its completion.
If it's completed, it will help us with that we are driving.
It will make business improve.
If Inuke is Friday, but after they construct this road, we will be looking fine. So everybody will enjoy whatever we are doing, we will be moving.
The Kaduna-Zaria Highway links states in the northwest and northeast zones with high level of socio-economic activities.
So this is one of the most important roads that will help and boost economic activities, that will help in making the environment for business to be very conducive. That eventually will help in generating employment.
So it will help in moving goods and services from one part of the country to the other. So the president has really done well.
Road infrastructure remains one of the most important public assets in Kaduna. Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
Nigerians have been urged to keep faith with President Muhammadu Buhari's administration's effort in the country for rapid development. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo made this plea in 2 towns in Oyo State while engaging the traders and artisans on the federal government scheme. Lanre Gbeleyi has details.
The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, was at Oyo and Insane to meet with artisans and traders, where he promised them that the federal government will continue to expand the scope of its initiative, Trader Money, to empower more Nigerians at the grassroots.
The federal government will not relent in fighting corruption. That has been a bane of the socio-economic life of the country. And the federal government will lay a solid foundation that will bring about rapid development.
Professor Yemi Osinbajo also paid homage to the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi III, and the Aseyin of Iseyin land, Oba Abdulganiyu Adekunle Salao, where he seeks for the continued support of the people. He enjoined the people of Oyo State not to relent in their support for the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. The royal fathers promised not to disappoint the president in his effort in repositioning the nation for rapid development. The governor of Oyo State, Abiola Ajimobi, described the visit of the vice president as a means to consolidate on government's effort in developing the grassroots.
Coming himself to come and canvass, to come and tell people what we have done, what we are going to do, really gives hope to the masses.
We empower them to be able to increase their business.
From Iseyin Town, Lanre Gbeleyi, NTA News.
And talking education now, Minister of Education Adamu says the federal government is committed to the welfare of its students, both at home and abroad, in terms of meeting their financial obligations. The minister was speaking to the media on a number of issues relating to various scholarship schemes. He said government has offered over 20 scholarships under the bilateral education agreement for students of different countries to study in Nigeria. The minister said a total of 2,000 students are on federal government scholarship in various tertiary institutions in Nigeria, while close to 3,000 are currently on various scholarships in foreign countries.
Since the beginning of this government, we have spent about 3 billion funding the students. That is doing our obligation under the agreements on those scholarships. This is inclusive of 800 million naira so far spent in the 2018-2019 academic session.
Adamu said, henceforth, all scholarship schemes, whether public or private, must be registered with the federal government scholarship board. This, he said, is to avoid duplication of efforts and multiple scholarships at the expense of others. And the World Bank says it will not abandon or leave any uncompleted project under its agriculture support program in Nigeria. This is coming as the FADAMA 3 additional financing comes to an end. Musa Baba Aliu reports.
The presence of World Bank in Nigeria has been years of providing extension services and support to farmers across the country. During this period, inputs, rural roads and markets were also provided to farmers. As the intervention program comes to an end, key players in agriculture and the World Bank officials are here assessing the impact of the program in the northern part of the country.
Project will be closing next year. So this time the emphasis will be on how to complete all our ongoing projects so that by the time we close shop, there won't be any abandoned projects. We also put emphasis on how to sustain even the projects that are on the ground beyond the project life.
FADAMA has done a very good work in Kano State.
The meeting is at the instance of the Kano State government, a major beneficiary of the World Bank program.
Kano State government will continue to fulfill its legal and financial requirements of FADAMA 3 additional financing in view of the importance of the project and the successes it has recorded.
The World Bank Special Food Support Program in 6 states of the northern Nigeria is also analyzed. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria has validated her National Forest Reference Emissions Level, FREL, which is a benchmark for the UN to assess a country's performance in the implementation of efforts to reduce emissions from deforestation and forest degradation. This is coming after a review and adoption of the draft National FREL report for the country prior to its eventual submission to the UN for technical assessment. Justin Bemui tells us more.
A Forest Reference Emission Level, FREL, is one of the 4 elements a country is required to develop in order to participate in Red Cross under the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. And Red Cross stands for countries' efforts to reduce emissions from deforestation and forest degradation and foster conservation, sustainable management of forests and enhancement of forest carbon stocks. Now, considering the 3.7% deforestation rate in Nigeria, which experts say is alarming and must be put in checks, the federal government believes the national FREL comes in very handy for the country to gauge its performance not only in implementing Red Cross but also in meeting its commitment to the Nationally Determined Contributions, NDC.
The sooner the later, within the context of the international climate negotiations of the UNFCCC, Nigeria will begin to benefit from the potentially emerging performance-based system from Red Plus.
We understand that population is a problem, but we can manage population side by side with the way the forests are.
The validated National FREL document is scheduled to be submitted to the UNFCCC in January 2019. In Abuja, Justin Bem Unyi, NTA News.
Panorama continues shortly after this break. Stay tuned.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
It's good to know you're still there. We start with politics now. Ahead of the 2019 general elections, a coalition of political groups in Kaduna State has declared its support for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and Governor Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun reports.
The successes recorded in the fight against corruption, insecurity, infrastructural development, job creation, improvement in agricultural production, investment promotion, and the various social intervention programs by the Buhari administration are among the reasons the group says the administration deserves another term. The group calls on stakeholders, including spiritual leaders and civil society organizations, to work towards ensuring a peaceful conduct of the 2019 general elections. Governor Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai thanked the group for standing behind APC and supporting President Muhammadu Buhari, adding that more will be done to take Nigeria to the next level. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun, NTA News.
The Nigerian Navy ship NNS Delta has dismissed 3 of her personnel from service over theft of equipment from Mecca Jetty in Delta State. The Commander NNS Delta, Commander Ibrahim Dewu, says after thorough investigations, the personnel faced court-martial.
Well, sometimes in June, some of our personnel that were deployed in a jetty, Mecca Jetty, to keep duty, were caught stealing some of the equipment in that jetty. Now, when the report was made to the base and they were arrested, both with them and the civilians that were involved, a thorough investigation was carried out. After the investigation, a court-martial was recommended, and these 3 personnel from NNS Delta were court-martialed. The sentence that was given after the court-martial, that we are carrying out the Naval procedure for a dismissal, and we are going to send them to prison.
The Nigerian Navy says it remains committed to her primary responsibility of protecting the nation's waters and will not condone any form of criminality from her personnel, as anyone caught will face the full wrath of the law. And talking sports now, first edition of the Rivers Governorship Badminton Championship ends in Port Harcourt, while Edo State expresses happiness to host the 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. Gift George has details.
Anu Oluwapo Okpeori defeated his doubles partner Godwin Olufuwa 2-0, 22-20, 21-17 in the final of the men's category to emerge champion, while Dorcas Adeshokon beat Deborah Oke 2-1, 21-14, 18-21, 21-17 in the women's category.